What's going on, guys? It's Michael from GPURisers.com, back again today in the mining bunker. Excited to get this 12 card 6600 XT rig built. We actually only have 11 of them. We have 6 right there, and we have 5 still here ready to be put on today. Now, I thought I was going to have the 12th card today, but we don't. We actually did get this frame built late last night, so that one is ready to go. I do believe we will be filling this one with RX 6600s. We do have 4 of those right over here in our holding rig, and we're pretty happy with them so far. They're low wattage, really low heat, all that kind of stuff. So we are going to start building one of those out, and once we can get those off of that holding rig, we will be able to put our 6800 XT on. We have enough wattage actually on the power supply to do that now. However, I only have 2 1600 watt power supplies left, and although I'm putting 1600 watts on these, I do want to save those 1600 watts for a, potentially a 3070 Ti build, or also starting on our additional 3090 rig. So we'll see really what we're going to do then, but we'll kind of play it by ear. 6 of these 3070 Ti's really do need a 1600 watt power supply, so we might start building one of those out, and we might also start building a 3090 rig out. And once we get a 1300 watt power supply in, we can start with the 6600s. Now, the EVGA cables are swappable, so I could technically put the 1600 watt in there, put the 6600 XTs on there, and when eventually I'm ready to switch out to a 1300 watt when it comes in, I could do that. But I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with that. I got to think on it for a little bit. But that said, let me go ahead and get these cards put on, and this video is just going to kind of be me talking about these 6600 XTs. Once I get these on, I can throw a screenshot right on the screen so you guys can see what the overclocks are and what hash rates I'm getting on 11 of them. And I know we already did it on this 12 card one, but for those of you who have not seen it, we will do it again in this video. So that said, let me go ahead and get these put on. I'll get this rig shut down, and we will be right back. All right, guys, we have the 5 already installed, and they are up and running. I will post a screenshot right here of the current statistics of this rig. As you can see in the screenshot here, you can see the wattage per card, which is off a little bit. I think it shows around 50 watts per card software, but these cards are getting around 70 to 72 watts per. You can also see the overclocks. These seem to be the most optimum overclocks for me. If you guys see something a little odd there, please drop a comment down below. We're always open for some optimization. That said, I thought I'd talk to you guys a little bit about, what we plan on doing here at the mining bunker when it comes to AMD cards. We kind of decided that we are going to diversify into AMD a little bit more and stray away from Nvidia. That's nothing against Nvidia, just primarily our entire bunker and mining farm that we have is, I want to say, about 80 to 85% Nvidia right now. Now, it seems like AMD cards are much easier to get. The 3070 Ti's are not so bad. 3090s, for whatever reason, have been very difficult to get. The prices on them have just gone up. I'm not even looking at the third-party market for them anymore. I did get on a lucky stretch with these Zotac 3090s, got them all for very close to MSRP. That said, we do want to get around a 70-30 ratio. I still do favor Nvidia more than AMD when it comes to mining, and the reason behind that is the same exact reason why I favored them, 4 or 5 years ago. And the thought process that I have still stands true to this day, as it did in 2016. And that thought process is, eventually Ethereum will go to proof of stake. People have been telling me for 4 years, don't buy more graphics cards. Ethereum is going to proof of stake. It's going to be useless. But Ethereum has still yet to be proof of stake. There's nothing concrete about it. I can almost guarantee it will be pushed back again from whatever date you can read online. But it is almost 2022. And that said, I do believe it is coming. I think we probably have a good year or so still left. I know that's very optimistic. AMD is almost only good at mining Ethereum. Now, I know I'm probably gonna get some people saying, no, Ravencoin and like all these other, algorithms that you can mine on them. However, Nvidia is almost always better when it comes to watt per hash. Even on those other algorithms, it's always been more, diversified on what these cards are capable of doing. I don't know why I'm pointing at this rig like it's Nvidia rig, but that one's the Nvidia rig. And I feel like it is a lot different than it was in 2016, 2017. There weren't a whole lot of coins, there weren't a whole lot of projects. Whereas now, especially as the Ethereum proof of stake nears, I believe many projects will maintain a proof of work algorithm to secure their networks. But that's my 2 cents. Don't take any of that as advice. I'm just telling you guys what I'm doing and what I'm doing to prepare for the eventual switch to proof of stake on the Ethereum platform. Business model for mining right now, I'm personally in a expansive type mode. I'm trying to build out more rigs. Now I know that, you know, some people will say that's crazy, some people will say that's a great idea, but the reality for me here at the mining bunker is not just to fill these things up. I continue to pay for these cards by mining proceeds. And I have many rigs here that, you know, have paid themselves off, you know, 2 or 3 times over. You know, this 3090 rig here, there's 8 3090s here, costs around $30,000. That was paid for by mining proceeds from other rigs that I have in the mining farm here. So this one was paid off by a rig prior that's still mining along, or a couple of rigs. The total hash rate of my mining farm here has paid this off, and it's continuing to pay off these cards relatively quick. Right, the profitability on these cards are just crazy right now. 3090 rig alone, you know, each card makes about $8 a day after electricity. So this rig right here is, you know, totaling around $64 a day after electric. And when you can get your hands on some 6600 XTs for about, you know, right around $500. So this rig making $64 a day, you know, in 10 days, that's $640. That more than pays for one of these RX 6600 XTs. And I know that that's not always the best way financially to look at things, but having, you know, one rig already paid off, it's almost like a real estate, where in real estate, if you buy a property and just say you are, you know, a real estate investor and you want to rent these properties out, Airbnb, whatever you have it, you know, you're going to have your mortgage payment, which is going to be your largest expense on that property. And then you're going to have a renter, hopefully, you know, getting close to what the whole mortgage cost is to be able to pay your mortgage. And that's your investment. And a lot of people will buy another investment property before that first one's paid off. And in theory, that makes sense. You know, you have renters and everything like that, but there also comes a time where, you know, everyone has their own risk tolerance, and that's something I always tell people. Your risk tolerance is going to be different than someone else's. Your financial situation is going to be different than someone else. For me personally, when I got into crypto mining, I didn't want to keep taking these chances. I didn't want to keep rolling things. I wanted to build a rig and just say, okay, let this thing get paid off. And as soon as it was paid off, that's kind of where I started how I do my mining farm still to this day, where that one rig slowly paid off his second rig while that second rig was generating income. And then all of a sudden you have 2 rigs going to pay off a third, which rapidly pays off that third. And it's kind of like a trickle effect and a snowball effect, where right now, for instance, I might be out, say around $7,000 total for one of these rigs, but I have 14 or 15 other rigs currently paying this one off. And that's just how I look at it. Again, this is not financial advice or anything like that. I'm just trying to give it an insight on how I run my mining farm here. I can't emphasize enough, do not buy these things on credit unless you absolutely know what you're doing and that you have some kind of savings to be able to bail you out in the event of a huge crash. What you're looking at right now, I'm paying slightly above MSRP for these cards. If there is a giant market crash, I can guarantee more than half of this value will just drop off. And if it's paid off, it's a lot easier to sleep at night than knowing that you have $6,000 on a credit card that you can only salvage out $3,000 worth to be able to pay that off. But that said, enough rambling. As you stay in the bunker here, your mind kind of wanders a little bit. But I hope everyone watching this has a great rest of their day, and we will see you guys tomorrow.